There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims? Would you like to do so now? Well, they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures.
I'm sure you guys know about Mark Zuckerberg being before Congress, having to answer a bunch of questions. Before we get into this, I want to tell you, this is not political. I don't care who you vote for. I'm not trying to make any type of a political statement here. I'm just looking at some body language from Mark Zuckerberg. Let's go. All right, the first thing I want to tell you is that this guy definitely is not only rich, but he definitely has great coaching because he's very, very good at keeping his blood pressure low. He's good at not hyperventilating. He's good at not blinking too fast. He's very good at keeping his composure. But there's some things that happen here that really bring him to the brink of nervousness. Pay attention to the words that he speaks as the nervousness builds. Watch this.
There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims? Would you like to do so now? Well, they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures.
All right, we're going to go step by step through about 7 things that Mark Zuckerberg did as the nervousness was building. He did not expect to be put on the spotlight like this at this time, especially to do this. And you can see it very clearly.
There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims?
Notice the first thing here is that he closes his eyes. This is what we do when we're either 1, trying to keep something out, or 2, trying to keep something in. And part of keeping something in is when you're looking desperately for an answer and you don't want to do it wrong. You will often close your eyes, think it through, then come up with something. We do this all the time with our voice when you say or like, or we use one of these filler words. What we're doing is we're buying ourselves cognitive room to come up with a good answer. He's doing it right here, and instead of using words, he's using his eyes.
There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims?
Now his hand goes up. He doesn't even finish his statement. When you lift up your hands, when you raise your hands and open them, what you're saying is, I don't have anything here. I've got nothing. You're saying, give me some help, or give me some time, give me something. I don't have anything.
There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims?
Notice here, I've freeze framed this. As he's looking down towards his notes, he sticks his tongue out because he wets his lips. When you're nervous, your mouth gets dry. When your mouth gets dry, you'll either swallow or you'll use your tongue to moisten your lips. It's very, very common when you're nervous and you have to say something you weren't prepared to say.
Would you like to do so now? Well,
notice here his hand goes up, the I don't have anything, and his eyes go directly down to some notes. He's looking for help here. Watch. Now look at his eyes. He's looking down, he's grasping something. Look where his gaze is. He's looking down at his notes. He doesn't want to say anything wrong. See those notes? Just in case you can't see them, I'll go ahead and blow those up for you. You can get a better look at them here. I told you there was a lot in a short amount of time.
They're here. You're on national television. You're on national.
Notice here that he takes his hand and he smooths his tie. He's getting ready for public appearance. Not something he was ready for, but it's very common. When you know people are going to look at you, you want to look your best. If you don't have time to fluff your collar or to check your face, sometimes you will groom yourself, or you will press down your tie or make sure something is straight. It's for public appearance. It's called grooming, so that you can be seen. Now watch him pile on several words and several different gestures at once. You're going to see the hand go up, I don't have anything. You're going to see him mutter things. You're going to see him check his notes. But watch how much happens in just a couple seconds.
You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize?
Notice his eyes go down at his notes again. His tongue, he starts to do the mouth grooming. And his tongue comes back out again to groom his lips, to prepare them, moisten them so he can speak.
To the victims who have been harmed by your product. Show them the pictures. Would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
I'm sorry. Now notice here, guys, look, his hands are open. When you open up your hands, generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, it's saying, I don't have anything. Look, I have nothing to throw at you. I have nothing to surprise you with. I have no form of a weapon, but it means you don't have something. And also pay attention to where his hands are located. They're not down low. They're not way up high, they're right in the center. About chest height or torso height is what's called the truth plane. He has either been coached that this is where you put your hands and what you do, or it's just genuine because he really doesn't have anything to say and he wants to make a heartfelt apology. We don't know for sure, but let's keep watching.
No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered, and this is why we invested so much.
Look at these words. This is why we invest so much. Here's why this is important. This is oral deflection. All right, check this out. Deflection is a psychological coping mechanism. It involves moving attention away from an uncomfortable situation to something else. It helps people avoid going through tough topics or emotions, but it's also a control tactic, or it can be used as one. Deflection is a defense strategy. In other words, it's an attempt to cope with unpleasant inner states or situations. A person doesn't have to deal immediately with a challenging situation when attention is diverted elsewhere, which could include saying things like, "This is why we invest so much." Oftentimes when we deflect, we are looking to place blame somewhere or anywhere that's not us.
And this is why we invested so much and are going to continue doing industry-leading efforts to make sure that no one has to go through the types of things that your families have had to suffer.
Now, clearly this is something that has made him very nervous because it's not on script. He did not think that he was going to have to stand up and face anybody. This is why you saw all those nervous things happening, the mouth grooming, the eyes closing, the stuttering, the bringing up words and not finishing them, not knowing what to do, his eyes actually blinking a little bit faster, doing that flutter when you don't know what to say and your CPU is going, uh-oh, we need an answer very quickly. There is hours of footage here, and I'm going to be combing through the rest of it in the next few days. And if there's anything else that I can bring you quickly, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And if you are still here, I want you to do me a favor, click on one of these other videos, check it out. There's all kinds of body language psychology, all kinds of other stuff on this channel as well. And guys, I will see you very soon in the next video.